Give yourself a chance to become all you can become and to accomplish all you can accomplish. Let me give you a Bible philosophy that teaches how to get whatever you want. Here's what it says. Ask. That's it. Ask. Of all the important skills to learn in life, be sure to include the skill of asking. What does ask mean? Ask means, what do you want? And the complete formula is staggering. It says ask and you will receive. Hey, we ought to look into that. The man says, yes, but you work where I work. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You've got to get a bite to eat, watch a little TV, and get to bed. You can't sit up half the night and ask. And this guy is behind on his bills. He's a good worker, hard worker, sincere, but you've got to do better than work hard and be sincere all of your life. You'll wind up broke and embarrassed. You've got to be better than a good worker. You've got to be a good asker. Let me give you some key points on this asking and receiving, setting goals, asking of life. Here's part of the philosophy that helped me to change. First, asking starts the receiving process. Asking is like pushing a button, and all this machinery starts working, mental and emotional machinery. I don't even know how it works, but I do know it works. There are a lot of things you don't need to know how they work. Just work them. Some people are always studying the roots. Others are picking the fruit. It all depends on what end of it you want in on. So asking is the beginning of receiving. Second, receiving is not the problem. You don't have to work on receiving. It's automatic. So if receiving is not the problem, what is the problem? It's failing to ask. The man says, I see it now. I got up every day this year and hit it hard, but nowhere in my house is there a list of what I want from my life. Can you see? Good worker, poor asker. Third, receiving is like the ocean. There's plenty, especially in this country. It's like an ocean here. Here, success is not in short supply. It isn't rationed so that when you step up to the window, it's all gone. No. Well, if that's true, what is the problem? Well, the problem is some people go to the ocean with a teaspoon. Have you got the picture? A teaspoon. What I suggest you do in view of the size of the ocean is trade your teaspoon for at least a bucket, and you will look better at the ocean with a bucket. Kids won't make fun of you. Now, here's something else to remember about asking. There are two ways to ask. One is ask with intelligence. It didn't say ask intelligently, but I'm sure it meant that. Don't mumble. You won't get anything by mumbling. Be clear, be specific. Intelligent asking means how high, how long, how much, when, what size, what model, what color. Describe what you want. Define it. Remember, well-defined goals are like magnets. The better you define them, the stronger they pull. And give your goals purpose. Answer both questions. What do I want? That's the object. And the second question, what for? That's purpose. Purpose is stronger than object. What you want is powerful and it will pull, but what you want it for is more powerful. Here's the second way to ask. Ask with faith. Faith is the childish part. It means believe you can get what you want like a child, not an adult. Many adults are too skeptical. They've lost that wonderful childlike faith and trust. Don't let that happen to you. Believe in, have faith in yourself and your goals, and get excited like a child. Childlike enthusiasm. Nothing can beat it. Kids think they can do anything. How exciting. They hate to go to bed at night and can't wait to get up in the morning. Develop that kind of enthusiasm toward your life and your goals, and be curious like a child. Kids can ask 1,000 questions. Just when you think they're finished, they come up with 1,000 more. They'll drive you to the brink, but it's really a virtue. Have plenty of curiosity. Ask questions. That's how you learn.
So I got access. So I decided I'm going to go find a way to interview the 50 most influential, financial, brilliant minds on the face of the earth. Not people you read on the internet, not people on television screaming at you what to buy and telling you to go to some mythical mutual fund that gives you 12% every year and it doesn't exist, but the real guys and the real ladies that do it. But how are you going to do that? How? I'm going to call up to Tony Robbins. I'd kind of like to come interview you. You're worth $27 billion and I'd like your time. You have to engage people. So I'm going to show you some ways to do that. I'm going to tell you when you can engage people, there is no limit to the resources you can access. If you want real wealth, wealth is access to resources. It doesn't have to own them all, just access to them all. You can do whatever you want, go wherever you want to go. That's real wealth. And you can do it if you can engage people. And engaging people is finding a way to meet their needs, not yours. If you meet their needs, your needs can be met as well. And it can be done in a way that has integrity and love and vision and creativity, and it can truly be a synergy. Now I'll give you some examples of it just for 2 seconds, then we're going to do some things that engage this so you get the sense of its value. One of the first people I called on was Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn is a very gentle soul. He's a man who has a hard time expressing his true feelings about things. Who knows who Carl Icahn is? So you got to hit censor. He's worth $27 billion. He has made more money. In fact, on the cover of Time magazine, they called him the master of the universe because Kiplinger did a little study and found out Warren Buffett is not the most profitable person you could have invested with. Carl Icahn is. In the last 14 years, you would have made 1,600% with Carl Icahn. 75% overall in the S&P with the ups and downs, right? Net, I'm talking about after inflation. If you had invested with him in 1968 in his company, you'd have an average return of 31% for all these decades, doubling your money every 2.6 years. If you were with Warren Buffett, you get a mere 20%. This is an amazing guy. He agrees to the interview. I use every tool I got. I get there, and the first thing he does is he throws out my camera crew. No, I don't want this camera crew. I don't want this. I don't want the lights. I don't want this. Like, well, dude, you agreed. I don't care. I changed my mind. Get him the hell out of here. I'm master of the freaking universe. Don't you understand? Says, okay, no problem. Let's do the audio. My audio team goes, no audio. I said, what am I supposed to do? He goes, you got a pen? Come on, you got 10 minutes. 10 minutes? All my interviews are supposed to be 45 minutes. The average one went 3 hours. How? Engagement. I figured out how to engage these people, and I found something inside of them that really wanted to give. Not to me. They got what the mission was to other people. And I got them telling me things nobody tells them.
And every decision, that action, does it move me closer to being that man? Does it move you closer to being that woman? That's the barometer of how you think. That's the barometer of how you live your life. Does it move you closer to being that person you knew at some point you were capable of being? They knew you were capable. And if they weren't there, I promise you, God in heaven knows who you're capable of being. You were put here to do something great with your life. You were put here to win, man. You were put here to help other people, to contribute in little ways and big ways. You may not be world famous, worth $100 million, but there's a destiny you're supposed to fulfill. There's people you're supposed to help. There's a difference you're supposed to make. Your life, your way, special to you. Not mine, not jets, not houses, not cars. Your precious life, your beautiful life, your soul, your gifts, your difference. What if your destiny is to be that person I just described in someone else's life? You be the person who sees how great people are. You be the difference. You be the person who sees the difference. I want you to win. Winning is not hundreds of millions of dollars, but you should go get it. Winning is that when you meet that woman, meet that man, your identity. That's the great life. So you got to look at your life. The chapters are going by, aren't they? I don't know what chapter you're in, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but I can tell you the pages are turning in your life. Someone's keeping an inventory of your life. There's a movie being kept of your life. And let me tell you something. You ever go to the end of a movie? At the end of the movie, they put the leading characters on the screen, don't they? And then if you stay there long enough, you listen there long enough, they start running through the extras. Cab driver number 2, bouncer at the bar number 3. They don't even get names, do they? You know what I'm talking about, yes or no? You live your life for the main characters, not the extras. It's the extras of life who steal our destiny from us. It's their criticisms, their thoughts that they put in us. That negative voice you have is not yours. Someone put it there when you were little, probably. Live your life for the main characters of your life. The extras don't matter. The main characters are you and the close circle of people who love you. When David died yesterday, the text I've got on my phone is his wife and his 2 children were there with him when he passed. Those are the main character of his life. Those are the story of his life. And I'm part of the destiny of his life that he saved my life. I'm real sure where he's going, and I'm real sure when he gets there that he became the man he was born to be, because I know what he did in my life. And if he just did it just for me, he accomplished who he was here to be. So you have to accomplish who you're here to be. That's what I call maxing out your life. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, I went long. I got emotional. I think you could probably feel that I mean this stuff. When I say I love you and I believe in you, I mean that as a brother. I do. I want you to win. I want you to give it your best. I want you to bend time. I want you to use your RAS. I want you to repurpose your mess. I want you to do all of it. I want you to work on your thermostat, right? I want you to be blissfully dissatisfied. I want you to do all of it. Anyway.
Now, let me show you what I mean. I've been teaching people for 44 years, top athletes, billionaire businessmen, how to shift. When people come to me in usually two extremes. They're the best in the world, and so they want to get better because they're always looking. They know a little change, like a little 10-degree change. I'm going this way, no, I'm going this way. Take it out 6 months from now, a year from now, you have a different destiny, different destination. So they're always looking for the cutting edge, and so they come to me. I also get people when they're having a tough time, because that's when people get driven to do something, when it gets bad enough, when they go through a real tough time, and I got to help them to shift. And the first place I always start, I have to start, is with the energy, because inevitably when somebody's stuck, if you've ever been stuck, what's your energy like? High or low? Show me, guys. High or low? Which one? You know damn well it's low. So where do we get that energy, that habit? We use our body, we use our voice. So for example, 44 years I've been turning athletes around, business people around, the Serena of the world, Williams of the world, the Conor McGregors, right? The Pitbull, all the people around the world I get to work with in every walk of life, entertainment, business, sports, finance. And in every case, I start with the body. So why? Well, a study was done at Harvard finally 4 years ago, proving scientifically what I've been teaching for decades. And here's what they did. They didn't do everything I teach. They just did postures. I want you to try something if you would. Please stand up. Please stand up if you would. Shake your body out. You can adjust your camera if you can. If you can't, it's okay. I can see it. And what I want you to do, really simply, is I'll show you first. Here's what they did. They took students and elderly people, people of all ages, and they tried something. They called it power posture. So I want you to put your hands on your hips like Wonder Woman or Superman or something like that, Batman, your shoulders are back, hands on your hips, just breathing fully. And here's what they found. Within 2 minutes, keep doing it, but some of you aren't breathing, I see. You still breathe. That's it. I see you there. Good, good, good. Now, while you're doing it, for 2 minutes, if you just stand like this and breathe fully, shoulders back, your testosterone, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, your testosterone will increase by 20% in your body, that release in your body, which gives you strength and drive. But also, just doing this for 2 minutes, and they found your stress hormone, which is cortisol, will drop literally by 25%, and your risk tolerance, your willingness to go do something you were afraid of, changes by 33%. In other words, you're 33% more likely to take action than you were before if you just stand like this for 2 minutes. The other one they have is seen a guy, who's got his arms behind his back and his legs are up at the desk at the office. That does the same thing, believe it or not. Now, I don't do this. I show people how to produce the energy by movement and voice. So just for a second, do me a favor. No matter where you are, I want you to wake up your nervous system. So I'm going to ask you to do some things that sound weird, but they're scientific. And one of them is the way you make sound affects the way you feel radically. It changes your biochemistry. It also, when I ask you to make a sound, if you'll just do it instinctively, not think about it, it makes it go to the deepest part of your brain, the reptilian portion of your brain, which wakes up your nervous system. So right now, while you're standing like this, just try something. Make the sound out loud. Don't worry about anybody being around, of being totally excited. What's the sound you make if you're totally excited? Make that sound. Go. Go, go, go.
The key to being successful is to work harder than other people. Because everybody wants success. Everybody wants a Lamborghini. Everybody wants freedom. But what are you willing to do to get there?
So much of success is seeing yourself as victorious. You have to see yourself. You have to really believe in yourself. And sometimes it's hard. You've had failures, you've had weaknesses, you've had other things. You have to see yourself as a one-man band. Don't rely too much on other people because they'll let you down. You have to see yourself as victorious.
Anything and everything can be done if you can visualize it and if you believe in yourself.
To be a winner, you have to think like a winner. If you don't think like a winner, it's just never going to happen.
You're going to find the naysayers in every turn that you make. Don't listen. Just visualize your goal, know exactly where you want to go. Trust yourself. Get out there and work like hell. Break some of the rules and never, ever be afraid of failure.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great.
You have to be disciplined. Say, no, I am not giving this offense any room. I am not going to let it sour my day. Or you wake up in the morning and thoughts of worry come. How are you going to pay your bills? What if the medical report's not good? You'll never get out of this problem. Don't allow that in. Take inventory of what you're giving space to. Life is too short to go through it with negative things holding us down. Worry will make you weak. Living stressed out will make you old, give you wrinkles, take your passion. Being bitter, angry, resentful will shorten your life.
I've been asked hundreds of times, why are you Wes, right? Why aren't you the stereotypical, like, you're abused, you went through this, your dad's an alcoholic, your mom's this, you're like, why aren't you in that pool? I made a choice. That's it. I made a choice. I made a choice that I didn't want to be that. There's nothing special about me. Things are just happening, and it's because of one choice. And that's it. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking you've made all these different choices and your life is in one direction, make one different choice. Just one. And see where it goes.
Anything that we want to achieve starts here first. Then we can get our bodies to move into action to create.
I believe our lives are controlled by one force, decisions. I certainly believe a force greater than myself, call it God if you will, grace, whatever you want to call it, the universe. But I also believe it gives us choices. And the decisions we make control us much more than the conditions we meet. It's not the conditions, it's your decisions.
It's not a but. It's not a label. It does not exist. You can do it.
Don't let nobody steal your dream. I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one.
You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. You know laughter and love better than anyone.
I remember the past and I learn from it. I rejoice and celebrate in the present, and I reimagine the future. If you are victimized by your thoughts, you're victimized by your past. I use memories, but I do not allow memories to use me.
The first thing is to recognize that what's happening is not a punishment, that it's actually an opportunity. What most people do is pretend that it's not there, pretend that it doesn't exist, or try and do something to avoid feeling it. Please trust that it is leading you to something greater, and know that.
Every one of us who's a goal achiever sets goals, but very few people think about the obstacles that are there and them overcoming the obstacles. And in order to become an amazing goal achiever, you have to accept the fact that there will be obstacles, but you also have to prime your brain to recognize the obstacles and to teach it that you can overcome it. And you can do that in your mind first, and you back it up with a plan. Guess what? You will start to become a goal achiever instead of just somebody who sets a goal.
As Joseph Campbell said, find a place inside where there's joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. Now I get it. Life inevitably comes with some degree of misery, and I get it. For many of you, things have happened in your past that are unspeakable. And whether that's something big or whether it's something small, each one of us has something inside of us that hurts. It's something that we wish weren't so. It's something that we focus on when we're alone. It's the thing that keeps us up at night. It's the thing that wakes us up in the morning. It's the thing that we obsessively come back to over and over and over for whatever reason that we think means that we're not good enough.
If you quit, whatever you were trying to accomplish can never happen. There's not even a remote possibility. If you quit, there is no chance of it popping back up again, coming back later. Quitting is guaranteed failure. You have to make sure that your dream, your aspirations and goals are so big that not accomplishing them is not an option. You have to want something so big that it wakes you up in the middle of the night. You have to want something so big that you think about it all the time. You have to want something so big that it drives you to wake up when you don't want to. It keeps you up at night when you long been sleepy. It makes you show up, do things you wouldn't normally do. It requires extra. If you want to be ordinary, live your life. But if you want to be extraordinary, you have to be extra. If you put extra on top of ordinary, that word is extraordinary. It requires an extra effort.
Life's going to give you ultimately what you'll fight for.
The last 1,000 years on earth, doing something great has been reserved to this one little group of people, 1% of the population. They're supposed to do something great. They're supposed to live their dreams. We're supposed to watch them, cheer for them, wear their jersey, watch their award show, comment on their posts, clean their houses, right? Feed them in their restaurants. No! The fact of the matter is, you can do those things. You can change your life. You're supposed to do something great with your life. You were put here for a purpose. Your way, the way you were born, the way you were raised, your background, your experiences, your giftedness all prepared you in your way for right now. And you're supposed to do something great with your life. You weren't born here to be average and ordinary. Play big. Stop playing small. Stop thinking small, and don't let anybody tell you you should be small.
I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you have unlimited potential in you. I know that you have something to give to the universe that was not here before you showed up. You can have fears, but don't surrender. Don't let your fears have you. You're more than capable of making this your decade. You have the capacity to whatever comes up, to handle it, to face it. And rather than feeling powerless, you begin to feel powerful.
You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. The Bible says he was in a pig pen, and he came to himself, and he went home. Get your butt up. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. And I'm suggesting that it's necessary that you get outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary that you develop some new relationships where you can learn from people. It's necessary that you do reading, that you do research. It's necessary, if you're already involved in some business, that you don't be satisfied with where you are. If you want to make it today, it's necessary for you to constantly look at ways of getting better. Not over till I get over. Not over till I get what I want. Door can't open today, look out. I'm going to come back and take the hinges off. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. But you've got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. But you have got to own what it is that you want to do. If it's taking care of your well-being, if it's making a difference in our school system, if it's working with senior citizens, if it's to protect our ecology, if it's to create an economic renaissance, if it's just to take yourself to another level, it's you. You've got to make that happen. We can point out many things that can make it inconvenient or can slow us down, but ultimately, it's on us. But what I've come to appreciate when you're working on changing your life, changing some bad habit, getting out of addictive situations or relationships, or working to build a dream or making a difference in our society, or learning something that's very challenging. Here's what I realize, ladies and gentlemen.
it's hard. Easy is not an option. It's hard living. Life is hard. See, it's hard when you are 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work out. You lose your money and other people's money. It's hard. It was rough when I lost my job and I could not find a job. It was humiliating and embarrassing, borrowing money, and then I couldn't pay the money back when I told them I would. That's rough. How people look at you, how they respond to you. It's very hard. It's humiliating. Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. Then I saw that that was preparing me for bigger and better things. That as you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do, do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender. So if it's hard, then do it hard. Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. In the Far East, they have something that's called the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. And when they go through a process of growing it, they have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years. Because at any time had that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that dream, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. And I can see people coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground that's not showing anything. Hey, what you doing? You've been out here a long time, man. And the conversation in the neighborhood is, you growing a Chinese bamboo tree, is that right? Yeah, that's right. You know that's how people are going to do you? So how long you been working on this? How long have you been working on your dreams? And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show? People are going to do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. Because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You got to keep on watering your dream. During those hard times, we didn't know how you're going to make payroll. During those times when you failed and things didn't work out, they were nowhere to be found. But you know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard. If it's hard, why do people do it? You ask people who do things, why do they go it? People who climb mountains just for the sake of it. Nobody paying them to do it, just do it. Somebody said, I'm going to run around the world. He said, whoa, somebody wants that. I'm going to swim the Atlantic Channel. Why? Why do people do that? I wondered, why would a Nelson Mandela give up 26 years of his life? Why do people do that? Here's what I discovered in high school. High school, I decided I wanted to go out for football. Never forget this. And I discovered why people do things. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Even though it's hard, it's worth it. It's worth it. The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. You want to sing, and even though they want to invite you to Carnegie Hall, you're going to sing to anybody that listens to you, including singing to yourself. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. You got to be willing to form and to develop new relationships. It's you. It's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.
What does it take to really make the changes starting tomorrow? It takes more than philosophical pronouncement. I know that. It also takes more than enthusiasm. I know we're hearing a lot about enthusiasm these days, but see, that just won't do the job. We're still hearing the old cliches of the 30s, right? To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. After you have leaped about, there are some things you got to do. See, you can get all excited about lifting 200 pounds till you get to the gym. And then you need a new excitement. And the new excitement is called discipline. Major step to human progress. Discipline. If there's one thing to get excited over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things.
There's 6,000 people in here and another 5,000 people in another room with Pete Vargas, okay? There's 11,000 people that are interested in changing their financial condition. There's so much money on this planet, folks. You have to keep remembering. Surround yourself with people that are telling you the truth. And the truth is, there is so much money on this planet that everybody on this stream could be a billionaire. Is that real to you guys? I don't know if you're in the right vehicle. I don't know if you have the right mindset. You probably don't have the right customers yet. But Jeff Bezos thought about being a billionaire before he became a billionaire. Okay. Elon Musk was not a baller his whole life. You're the asset. You are the one that is going to climb the wealth mountain. You're going to be the one, okay? I'm talking to you right now. You are going to be the one, Eduardo, Tanya, Tracy, Rana, Melissa, Sigal, Rudolph. You're the one that's going to climb this thing. You're the one that's going to go from the lower middle class to the middle class to the upper class to the wealthy. Who here has made a decision to get to the top of the pinnacle? Here's the deal about the decision, folks. You need to make the decision and then keep remaking the decision. You got Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Jay-Z, and Elon Musk. They all know each other. They've all touched each other. They all hang with each other, okay? Collaborate. Collaborate with power. Who do you want to hang with? Quit taking what this planet gives you. Quit taking your neighborhood. Okay? I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I hated Lake Charles. I got to tell you, I'm grateful I grew up there. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the things I learned. But look, once you go see the rest of the planet, you're like, why am I living here? Why is this all there is? Go to Singapore, Dubai, Sydney, Australia. Go to London. Go to Miami. Go to LA. Find out where you want to live. Where are the opportunities? Where can you bust out and make it? What would you do? If you're a mountain climber, you're going to probably go visit Mount Everest at some point. Go where you need to go to get where you need to get. The rule of 5. Who do you need to hang out with? Collaborate with power, and then you want to write this down. Pay to play. I had been told this most of my life. I did not trust it. I was skeptical. The easiest way to collaborate with power is to buy a seat at the table. These guys over here, I don't know if you guys can pan over here. Can they see these guys? Look at these guys. Look at these guys. These guys are spending 3 days with me. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. These guys paid $12,000 each to sit in that chair. I look over there, I'm like, man, they're crazy. People crazy. 3 days, I got to look at their ugly faces. Okay? The reality is, I don't know if they're crazy or not. No, I know this. To get to the top of that pyramid, folks, how many believe this? You're going to have to do some crazy shit. To stay where you are, you will have to do some crazy shit. Listen to me. To get to the top, you will have to do something crazy. To stay where you are, you will be forced to do something crazy.
When I was asked to make the commencement speech, I immediately said yes.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life, or maybe tomorrow or the day after that. Let's call it sometime mid-June. That's not important. The important thing is that you've studied incredibly hard to get to this day. If you're graduating high school, congratulations. High school graduation was my favorite graduation ceremony. It was the only graduation ceremony, really. And to the college grads out there, as I mentioned,
I didn't go to college at all, any college. And I'm not saying you wasted your time or money, but look at me, I'm a huge celebrity.
If you're graduating from college, I'm so impressed. You're 21 and you've already accomplished more than I had at that age. When I was 21, my biggest accomplishment was I got front row tickets to see Peter Frampton. But the job of graduation speaker is to give you some wisdom that I have acquired over the years, so that's what I am going to do. Here's a little bit of what I know. People who live in glass houses should never throw stones, but they should always wear pants. If you put your money where your mouth is, you might end up swallowing a penny. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and the longest distance between 2 points is the ladies' room at a WNBA game. Here's something that I've learned that I hope I can help with. We put everything in perspective. There are going to be bad times in life, like what's happening right now. In my life, I've been through some incredible highs and some tremendous lows. And the one thing that's true about both of them is that they pass. So cherish the good times, and in the bad times, remember they won't last forever. It does get better. And for all of this year's graduates, believe me, your best days are still ahead of you. I know when I'm feeling down and I'm looking for inspiration, I turn to the Dalai Lama, who said, never lose faith in the truth. In the end, everything will be all right. Because players going to play, and the haters going to hate. I'm just going to shake it off. Shake it off. When I finished school, I was completely lost. And by school, I mean middle school. But I went ahead and finished high school anyway. I had no ambition. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did everything from I shucked oysters, I was a hostess, I was a bartender, I was a waitress, I painted houses, I sold vacuum cleaners. I had no idea. And I thought I'd just finally settle on some job and I would make enough money to pay my rent, maybe have basic cable, maybe not. I didn't really have a plan. My point is that by the time I was your age, I really thought I knew who I was, but I had no idea. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and the way I ended up on this path was from a very tragic event. For me, the most important thing in your life is to live your life with integrity and not to give in to peer pressure to try to be something that you're not. To live your life as an honest and compassionate person, to contribute in some way. So to conclude my conclusion, follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, then by all means you should follow that.
When you are doing everything in your power to be the best makeup of yourself, there's always going to be an adversary that's going to try to take that away from you. Now, the best way you can overcome this is having the faith. Now, it doesn't matter what you believe in as long as it's something that's positive that's going to get you through it. A lot of people don't have that ability to be strong. And I'm not talking about the physical aspect of strength. I'm literally talking about the mental and, of course, spiritual aspect of strength.
Don't let pride confuse your tears. You got to let that out sometimes. You got to let it go. When I lost my mom years ago, that was the hardest thing that I had to deal with. And to this day, I still think about that woman that gave me life. And I have my moments when I'm happy about the good times, but I also have my moments when she left this world. But that's just one thing. That's just one circumstance. There are many circumstances I could talk about. But I continue to move on.